What's up, guys? I'm Crystal Lee Naomi, aka Jasmine Borders on Tyler Perry's Sistas. Be sure to subscribe to the Haves and the Have-Nots review for not only reviews on the Haves and the Have-Nots, but also on Sistas. And while you're at it, give your girl a follow on Instagram at Crystal Lee Naomi. And I'll see you every Wednesday at 9, only on BET.
My best friend in the entire world is upset with me.
Andi, I'm so sorry. I swear I had no idea.
You did?
No. Andi, one thing I'm not is a liar.
Oh, that's true.
Thank you.
I believe you.
Thanks.
Damn, Atlanta is way too small.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Sistas fans, hope everybody's doing well. We're talking about probably one of the more controversial scenes of the episode. Trust and believe there were several, but when Andi literally it looked like she was it was like she was the principal calling Fatima to the office. So before going further in the video, please take a moment to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out when I post content, and follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. First of all, I hope Fatima's done with the apologies, but in the preview for next week, you know she's going to try to apologize to Karen, and it's like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's not go there. So basically, Fatima is the new kid in school, and she's trying to get along with everybody. But there's always the mean girl or mean girls preventing her from doing so. So basically, you got Andi stopping by the salon before she goes to work just to check on her friend. Nothing wrong with that. And basically, once again, reassuring Karen, like, look, if I knew about Fatima and Zach, I would have told you. Right. And to be honest, I know Karen's in her feelings, but when it comes to this quote-unquote friend group, they are not the best with telling everyone key information. There's definitely those who keep things to themselves as well, or as Danny would put it, holding out, or they're very selective of who within the group knows about certain tea. So even when, you know, Andi says the wrong thing, well, Fatima, she's a good person. I don't want to hear that. Basically, again, Karen is like, you know what? She's already hating on Fatima, even though she really doesn't know her like that, and they aren't really friends. And I mean, you would think she would take into consideration that, well, yeah, maybe because I talked about Zach to Aaron, maybe it means that he really didn't talk about me to her. It's like, yeah, what's that song? Break up to make up, that's all we do. All thing about my mom with those vinyl records as a kid. But it's like, yeah, I get it too. Look, I'm not siding with Karen, but I will say on some level, I do understand. I mean, you just look at the fact that Karen and Zach have been on and off for so long that the girls play bets on how long it'll take before they hook up again. That's why Danny's like, man, you and Karen going to get back together, yada, yada, yada. But it's hard to accept that somebody's going to go against the grain. And it's like, you know what? Maybe this is it. We aren't going to get back together. I found someone better who treats me right. And I'm not going to go back to a toxic situation, even though we had sex in the closet the other day. They up in the closet? So I feel that when it comes to Karen and Zach, you know, I guess Karen would be like, wow, it's like I hook up with somebody else, and that's mainly to talk about how my ex treated me, but he hooks up with somebody else, yet I don't come up. Why do you think that is? So I feel like Andi, like, pretty much copping an attitude with Fatima until Fatima's like, I didn't know. I don't really know what else you want me to say because Karen, my best friend, is upset with me. Okay, what the hell does that have to do with Fatima? I mean, first of all, we're at work, Mrs. Barnes. Secondly, I think Andi seems to be forgetting that Fatima was in the trenches for her. And I don't want to say Fatima was in the trenches for Andi while her friends weren't, because of the fact that, going back to holding out, Andi really doesn't tell everything to her girls. Like, you know, Jasmine confronting her in the parking lot. Hell, she even told Gary that I'm not going to tell my girls about Jasmine almost killing us. But it's just like, think about season 2 only. I mean, in season 1, Andi and Fatima was kind of like, you know, like a reoccurring character. You know, like her role wasn't that big. But whenever she was in the show, you know, she was there to kind of check on Andi because she was the only, you know, black female lawyer in the firm. So like anytime something would go down, she would at least check in on her. But Andi really wasn't that open with her, so to speak, because they really weren't close like that. It wasn't towards like the end of season 1 until the feds show up in season 2 where Fatima really showed that she does have Andi's best interests at heart, and is a ride or die chick. From hiding incriminating evidence in her office from the feds to saving her ass from Jasmine and her crew beating her up in the parking lot. So it's kind of like, because Karen has an attitude over something Andi had no control over, she decides to go to work and take it out on Fatima despite everything Fatima's done for her. And she has the nerve to, kind of talk down to Fatima about, well, because my friend's mad, I'm going to confront you about something, even though in the grocery store you literally explain how I knew nothing about you and Karen and Zach. And Andi's like the last person to try to confront somebody over some crap. Yeah, wasn't your man's wasn't your man's ex-wife in your apartment last night about to kill your ass over having an affair? And yet you have the nerve to have an attitude with Fatima over a hookup, not even a relationship, but a hookup with your friend's ex that she didn't even know about. Like, Andi is the last person to try to confront somebody on this stuff. And then she's like, Fatima's like, well, you could tell Karen that it's over. I think that was just a messed up thing to say due to the fact that we all know that based on the trailer for the season as a whole, it ain't over. They'll hook up again. I mean, my question is, if Fatima and Zach hook up again, at what point will that matter? Will Karen have even more of an attitude like, well, Andi told me that you said to tell me that it was all over, but you hooking up with him again? Well, Fatima doesn't owe you anything. And what should it matter at this point? Just because Zach is in your heart, that doesn't mean that you're in his. I mean, sure, you'll have feelings for him because it's like you said last week. You ever been confused? It's like somebody isn't right for you, but they're in your heart and mind anyway. So it's like, I just don't like the fact that Fatima's the one put on trial when she hasn't done anything wrong. It's just so dumb to me. It really is. You are really dumb, for real. You are really, 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 really so dumb. Man, got the nerve. Seriously, I mean, not even 12 hours ago, you're begging for your life because of a scorned mistress. I mean, not mistress, but ex-wife, because you were a mistress. And you want to confront somebody, you want to call somebody out over hooking up with your friend's ex. Have several seats, Andi, even though you were looking good in that suit. All right, that's all I got to say. I just feel like, this Karen Fatima thing, this is just ridiculous. Because, I mean, in the preview for next week, hey, I'm sorry about what happened. Let's not even go there. And then and hell, there's another scene in the trailer for the season where they were like in the parking lot. Look, for real, I didn't know. Really? Karen, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. All right, let me know what you thought about this scene. It really just infuriated me. I mean, hell, Fatima's willing to beg and do whatever. Do you think I should call her? Don't do that. Okay, well, good, Andi. Just don't bring it up anymore. Damn. Because I feel like that's going to be the thing. It's like, the other girls are going to warm up to Fatima. Karen's going to still give her the cold shoulder. And then there's going to be a question as to whether or not Karen will try to pull an ultimatum as to tell the girls, hey, you either choose me or you choose her. And they'll probably choose Fatima because she's less trouble. Just saying. I mean, Danny and Karen, they don't have the best relationship as it is. Sabrina, she kind of wants to just appease to everybody. So if it came down to it, I could definitely see the girls kicking Karen out of the group and putting Fatima in her spot. Just saying, like the 5 Heartbeats. You trying to take my spot, but you ain't going to have it, Fatima. You ain't going to take my man and my spot. Nope. I mean, hey, you made your own choices. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I do appreciate the support as always. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And to be honest, now that I think about it, Fatima's kind of like an amalgamation of all the women. Like, imagine, okay, so she has the feistiness and, ride or die chick attitude like Danny. I mean, the way she's trying to be very apologetic and get Karen to understand, that has traits of Sabrina. And I mean, being somebody who Andi can confide in, that's something that Karen does, but Fatima does also. So when you think about it, well, Karen's kind of disposable. Just saying. Yeah. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video.